Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends, Spider-Man the Animated Series, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, Doc Ock and Aunt May 2-pack. Let's go ahead and check out the packaging. As you can see, Marvel Comics, Spider-Man the Animated Series, ages 4+, Doc Ock and Aunt May by Hasbro. Here they are on the front, animated look, Doc Ock, Aunt May. It has been a long time coming to get an Aunt May action figure. One side of the package, sort of simulating an old VHS pack. VHS 1, VHS 2. On the back side, you can see the two different figures looking fantastic. There's a barcode in case that helps help anybody. So with no further ado, let's open them up. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. Doc Ock comes with his different robotic legs and 2 alternate hands, and then Aunt May comes with 2 alternate hands. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures separately. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and we'll compare them with a bunch of different action figures from different various companies. The main reason I bought this 2-pack, and you're going to think I'm crazy, was for Aunt May. I imagine most people want Doc Ock from this pack, and he's a great figure, but I'm not going to open that can of worms. If I start collecting Marvel heroes, I just can't keep up with all that. It's far too much with my Batman collection. I really got Aunt May because, number 1, I love civilian action figures, and number 2, she's going to be a figure substitute for Leslie Thompkins. That's a childhood friend of Thomas and Martha Wayne, Bruce Wayne. She knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman as an adult. She's a doctor, has a clinic in the poor part of Gotham. I've really been looking for an Aunt May figure for many, many years for this purpose. There's some, 8 or 10-inch version out there, but that doesn't help me out. Finally, a 6-inch scale, old lady, granny type action figure. I know, I'm in the minority, but I've been looking for one of these for a very long time. Happy to finally have it. But, let's go and start off with Doc Ock, the one everyone really wants to know about. So here's Doc Ock. I believe his real name is Octo Octavius. He's got 8 different robotic legs, hence the name Dr. Ock, like an octopus. He's got 2 hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. It's from Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is, I would say, the best Spider-Man animated series out there. I don't really understand how they haven't been able to make one as good in 20 years. Just like Batman animated series and X-Men the animated series. Just the way it is, I guess. So let's take a look at him. Start with his head here. He's got that signature sort of bowl cut. Sunglasses or shades. Frowning, sort of angry, stern face. Yellow sort of armor on top of a green suit. Looks like double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Doesn't appear to have any sort of torso articulation. You can see where his different tentacles are going to connect. Looks good. Kind of has that basic sculpt, the anime design, which I really like. And now for a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Looks pretty good. Sort of animated look, but not super animated and cartoony. Would nice for your comic collection as well. And here's a figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. So here are his hands. He has a total of 4 of them, 2 left hands and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his other pair of hands. His right hand is a gripping hand. His left hand is kind of semi-open. Looks like a grabbing or choking hand. Now for his robotic tentacles. I noticed 2 of them are open, 2 of them are shut. Looks like they're going to have sort of bendy wire in there. Take whatever pose you want. Really, really good way to handle these. It's going to connect to his back through this peg. Like I said, 2 of them are open, 2 of them are shut. Here's Doc Ock with no tentacles. And here he is with the tentacles attached. They're easy to take in and out, but they're pretty sturdy, stable, secure when you put them in there. They did an excellent job with these things. See, they go in here, they have rotation, and then of course the bendy wire allows you to do pretty much whatever you want. I put the open ones to grab at Spider-Man on the top, and the other ones at the bottom. I personally probably would have wanted 4 of these, that way you could have 2 grabbing at somebody, and then 2 more sort of walking around with these. You could have 2 of them downward, you could have 4 of them downward, walking him around. I bet they even hold his weight. Now it can be done, but it is no easy task. It's a bunch of balancing and getting everything just right. But like I said, it can be done. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 6.4 inches tall, which can translate to just over 16 centimeters. Now for his articulation, starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate from side to side, you can look up and down, pretty nice amount, you can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders, a ball joint, goes about 90 degrees, up, down, around, can't really go any higher than this. From the shoulder pads, double jointed elbows, go in about that far, a little bit obstructed by his large armored forearm. Wrists can rotate, and they are hinged as well. Torso seems to be one solid piece. He's got a waist swivel, ball joint here, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, almost complete to splits, ball joints. They go forward this much. Back, not very much. He's got thigh cut, double jointed knees, ankles, forward and back. Tilt rock, no traditional rotation. Now let's look at Leslie Thompkins. I mean Aunt May. But in my action figure world, she will be Leslie Thompkins, Gotham City. Either way, it's really cool to have Aunt May. They've given us a ton of civilian characters. Peter Parker, Mary Jane, J. Jonah Jameson. But come on, Aunt May has been an important character to Spider-Man for a very long time. So let's take a look. Start with her face here. Her hair, a little bit over the top exaggerated. She's kind of an animated look. It looks, I don't know, a little bit goofy. The eyes look kind of sad, but I think she is smiling. Old, sort of sunken in cheeks. I don't know. Honestly, she looks kind of weird. I don't think she came out as good as I hoped she would. She's got a purple tie, light blue sort of jacket, purple skirt, single jointed elbows. Actually, it looks like double jointed knees, although you damn sure don't really need those on her. But it's just a regular old lady action figure. Might call her Granny sometimes. Just looks everything I'd expect. A little goofy in the face, but I'm definitely happy to have this old woman in my collection. You don't get a lot of regular looking old women action figures for obvious reasons. They're not very interesting, but they were perfect for my action figure world, right up my alley. And a closer look at her face and head sculpt. Like I said, I don't know, something about it's a little off, just looks kind of goofy. Still, happy as heck to have her. And here's Aunt May, broken down as far as she can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now for her accessories. She has 4 hands, 2 fisted hands, 2 open hands. Here's Aunt May with her first pair of hands. These are her fisted hands. Why the hell would they give Aunt May fisted hands? I have no idea. There are so many other hands of Marvel Legends figures they could have given her. Fisted hands? Really? This 70-year-old woman's going to get a fist fight? Fisticuffs? I'm truly confused why they would include these. They really should have just included nothing if they were going to do fists. But there are a ton of other female Marvel Legends hands they could have put in here. Fists? And here's her alternate pair of hands. Some open hands. These are definitely the hands I'll be using for this figure. Now let's check out her height. She's a little bit shorter, bottom to the top, about 5.8 inches tall, which can translate to just under 15 centimeters. Now for articulation, starting with her head. Of course, can rotate side to side, up and down, not much. She can't look up at all, but down a little bit. Tilt her head a tiny bit from side to side. Shoulders, ball joint goes out way more than 90 degrees, up, down, around. Single jointed elbow goes in more than 90 degrees with rotation. Wrist, rotate, and hinged as well. Can't really tell what's going on under here, so you can't see anything under the soft goods overlay. But she's got a waist swivel, probably a ball joint there. It's separated here. Okay, good. There we go. She does have double jointed knees, although you're not going to be able to use much of that articulation. It's odd they would do that. I can feel a thigh cut up there. I'm sure she has the usual ball joints in her hips, but you won't be able to utilize any of that. Her ankle, forward and back. I don't think it can tilt rock. Maybe just a little bit. Mine could be stuck. Yeah, I got forward and back. That seems to be it. But you really do not need Aunt May to be a super articulated figure. They gave her way more than she actually needs, so I'm very pleased with that. Here's Doc Ock chasing Aunt May down the streets of New York. Spider-Man comes to intervene. He confronts Doc Ock. A look at Spider-Man about to engage with Doc Ock, but then Then Spider-Man realizes Aunt May's in jeopardy. He has to get her to safety first before he takes out Doc Ock. And then, of course, Spider-Man comes back to finish the job. And like I said earlier in the video, I plan to use this Aunt May figure for Leslie Thompkins in my Batman world. Here's Batman reminiscing on the anniversary of his parents' death. Leslie Thompkins is there, trying to console and comfort him. A little bit of a better look at the entire setup. Now let's check them out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Spider-Man related figures. Here they are, next to a Toy Biz movie Spider-Man. This is from the early 2000s, and is the only 6-inch Spider-Man that I have. I like him a lot. I try to avoid collecting the Marvel figures in their suited costumes. I love Marvel heroes, but I just can't open that can of worms. I'd get way too much stuff. You can't collect everything. I stick to mostly Batman related, and then I get all the different civilians and regular looking figures I can to enhance that overall world. But I also get a bunch of other stuff I think is just cool. Still, if I open the can of worms of Spider-Man and X-Men, space and money, I don't even know. Now I don't have a ton of figures I need to compare Doc Ock to, as he's my only Doc Ock, and really my only Spider-Man villain. But I have a ton of stuff I want to compare Aunt May to. Here's Aunt May, or Leslie Thompkins, next to my custom Leslie Thompkins in the 7-inch scale. Now I have one for both my 6-inch and my 7-inch Batman collection. Here she is, next to a Patrick Stewart Professor X from Logan. Old man Professor X. I love this old man action figure, and now this old woman action figure. A perfect couple. And let's not forget Stan Lee here, another old man action figure. Very appropriate next to some Marvel characters. Here she is, next to a Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse Batman and Alfred. These are the type of figures I imagined I'd be able to use her with. Really happy to check Leslie Thompkins off my list. My long list of Batman-related characters I want to get. Now Aunt May is not the only civilian Spider-Man character that they've made. Here she is, next to several different versions of Peter Parker. Then, next to several different J. Jonah Jameson figures. And here, next to a bunch of different Mary Jane figures. Here's Aunt May, next to a Gwen Stacy figure. Here are all the different animated Spider-Man civilian characters they've made. J. Jonah Jameson, Peter Parker, Aunt May, Mary Jane, and Gwen Stacy. There's a better version of Mary Jane coming out in the near future. And the only other one I could think they could even possibly do would be maybe Eddie Brock. Here's Aunt May, next to Uncle Ben. Now let's check them out. Next to some other Hasbro figures. Here they are, next to some other Hasbro Marvel Legends. Then, next to even more Marvel Legends. And here they are, next to some Hasbro G.I. Joe classified figures. Then, with some Hasbro Fortnite Victory Royale figures. And now, with some Hasbro Indiana Jones figures. Now let's check them out. Next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix them with. Since they're Hasbro figures, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger. Here they are, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And here they are, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Then, next to a big cup of Code Red for the gas station. And here they are, next to some Mayfix figures. Then, with some Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse figures. And here they are, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here they are, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here they are, next to some McFarlane toys. And now, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Overall, these are some really nice figures. Doc Ock is a much better figure than Aunt May. I like the way it looks. Face sculpt is fantastic. Sort of animated, sort of comic styled. Very bright and colorful, but looks like a fantastic Doc Ock figure. His accessories, his tentacles are fantastic. They work great. Aunt May is the real reason I got this set. And the figure's not that good. Articulation is quite limited. But I really enjoy having this figure. This type of figure is right up my alley. Civilian, regular type figures, and this one is going to have a special place in my Batman collection as Leslie Thompkins. Like I said, Doc Ock is by far the superior figure and the most desirable of the 2-pack, but not for me. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.